As the Liberal Party leadership race continues, many candidates have spoken up about why they believe they are best suited for the job. But the common reoccurrence among all of them is that they believe they're the best to take on Pierre Poilievre. And in this case, we have Karina Gould, one of the former ministers and current ministers of the Liberal Party, very well entrenched and well aware of the procedures and internal party politics of the Liberal Party. She says that she is the best candidate because she's outsmarted Pierre Poilievre. As the Liberal Party leadership race continues on, candidates have been coming out expressing why they believe that they're the best individuals to take on the Conservatives and Pierre Poilievre. Here we have Karina Gould, former minister in many positions, as well as current minister, and a well-entrenched Liberal insider. She says that she has been able to outsmart Pierre Poilievre in the past 6 months as many political issues have came up. What does she say specifically? She says, I outsmarted him for the last 6 months in the House of Commons. I made sure that the government continued, that we got big things done, that he wasn't able to bring a government down. Now, in reality, we know that Jagmeet Singh of the NDP, he was the one who supported this government. He's the one who gave it its strength, and that's for his own personal selfish reasons. And a matter of fact is that the Liberal Party face and public-facing image has been at its worst in the past 6 months to a year. So that's completely wrong. And she also says that she is running because she's hell-bent on beating the Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre. And that's why her main point is in running, which seems oddly weird to me, because shouldn't you be running for the Canadian people, or are you just running because you don't want to see the other side bring in new perspectives and change to your bad, horrible policies? But let's look into what Karina Gould has to say further. And this article here from the CTV, she stirs up debate saying that the Canadian public has lost trust in the Liberal Party. While many of her fellow Liberals, of course, disagree because they're delusional, just like their leader Justin Trudeau was, she says in the article, quoting it directly, Gould, who is branding herself as a youthful candidate, can rejuvenate the party, said Thursday that the Liberals need to be honest about the fact that Canadians have lost trust in our party. And the part of this is because I don't think we've responded to the issues that they were telling us mattered to them. Okay, she says that something that we haven't been focusing on the right issues. So let's see what she did about it. She said that she has, in this article, been pushing against unpopular policies in the Justin Trudeau cabinet, stating that we didn't get everything right. It's something that I have been trying to push within the party and within the caucus to say that we have to listen to Canadians, Gould says. I was a cabinet minister, and we have something called cabinet solidarity so that conversations can happen in that room and stay in that room, which is short for wanting to shield themselves from public accountability and criticism, meaning they want to stay as undemocratic and cliquey as possible. Gould has always been a career politician, as the article says here. From 2015, she's been an MP, heavily involved in the Trudeau cabinet since 2017, holding several portfolios, including House Leader in the past 6 months to a year. While on CTV, she says they didn't get everything right, quote unquote. As a Liberal Party, she says, as a Liberal Party, we have to do a better job of listening to Canadians, and listening to Canadians means actually changing some of the positions we have and some of the policies that we have. Asked directly by Capellos, what made you see the light when it comes to the party's delay in addressing Canadians' affordability concerns, Gould says, I think I've seen it for a while, to be honest. Part of my job as the House Leader was to defend the government's position, but I made very strong comments within that space. within the spaces that I was acting. Okay, so she claims that she was advocating for issues within her spectrum of her portfolios, and very strongly advocating. Well, will we ever know that? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I've seen anything in the media or any insider information come out from the past many years about her advocating strongly about anything. She's actually supported the Liberal Party on all their major issues and major policy points, and with a strong, strong hand. That's why Justin Trudeau kept her around for as long as he has. But let's see what some of the major concerns of Canadians are right now, and what she has to say about that. So here's a poll from the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, conducted by a private polling company. I don't have the name. I think it's actually, Ledger. And this is about the carbon tax. So they state that almost 2/3, 64%, of Canadians support an immediate suspension of the carbon tax by the federal government. And this is across the board. You can see here all the specific statistics with most of Canada, if you can see here, supporting it, while Quebec has the lowest number here, 58%. And it's across the board, strongly supported by 39%. And most people have a will to see this tax suspended for obvious reasons. Everyone still drives, everyone still uses natural gas, everyone still uses so many carbon-based products that it's unreasonable to be taxing every single thing that emits carbon. But let's continue on to see what her policy specifically is about the carbon tax. So, Mr. Carney, Freeland, Mrs. Freeland, and Karina Gould are here, and what she says on the carbon tax is, while the rest of her competitors say they were going to scrap the carbon tax, she says that she is going to stop the increase of the price of the carbon tax, but keep it in place. Now that's interesting to say the least, because we have seen the opposition from Canadians of both sides of the political spectrum on what they think about the carbon tax. And it's clear that people don't want it in its current form at all. But she, being the liberal, strong woman she is, being Justin Trudeau's close confidant, she doesn't want to see that be ridden of. And it shows that she's not actually anything different than what we've been seeing constantly for many years on end now. She's more of the same, and that should be obvious to anyone. But let's keep on going here. This is specifically from her policies on her website, and she says on the affordability side that she's going to cut the GST to 4% for 1 year, which is okay, fine, but that's going to decrease government revenues. And considering that we already have a major crisis in terms of debt and spending, might not be the smartest move. But let's see how she plans to compensate for that cut. She says she's going to raise the taxes on excess profits. Now, raising taxes on companies that make profits of over $500 million a year by 2% is what she's suggesting. Many might say this is a good suggestion. However, we have to remember, in the current political climate we're in, with the tariff threat coming from the United States, which everyone is well aware of, how can you reasonably suggest raising taxes on companies over $500 million in profits when those are the same companies that employ thousands of Canadians and are already very, very skeptical about doing business in Canada? You push, the weights here a little more, and you make them feel that they're not being accommodated properly here in Canada. They'll easily just go to the United States, because they'll see, okay, we're getting screwed over by tariffs. We're getting screwed over now by the government more and more every year. Why stay here? Then you have thousands of Canadian jobs being lost, and that's what you will get. So she thinks that she can simply cut GST and compensate by raising taxes on corporations. It's totally unreasonable, especially in this climate we're in right now. It's what we've been getting from the Liberals is wishful thinking of this utopia, of this redistribution utopia they want to live in, which is absolutely unrealistic and impractical. Another point I saw here is she wanted to increase the power of the competition bureau, which is all right, but there are a couple of monopolies here in Canada for sure. But still, in this current climate, it doesn't seem that reasonable to do so. What's her plan to take on the American tariffs? Well, to look further, many politicians right now are suggesting many different plans. Some are saying go down the diplomacy route. Many are saying go down the tariff route. What she's saying here is she's going to make a charm offensive and make advertising campaigns to everyday Americans, and then going to continue knocking down provincial barriers. My question is why didn't you knock down interprovincial barriers the past 10 years when you guys did have power? Why didn't you make a plan for Trump in the past 5 years he's been out of office? 4 years he's been out of office. Why didn't you have contingencies to make the economy in Canada more self-reliant and more resilient by trading between each other and other countries, and not just taking for granted the trading relationship we have with the United States? Why didn't you make these changes in the past couple of years? How did you not foresee this? If you don't have the proper vision to see the potential threats that we're going to face, especially when that threat might have been Trump, you have to be very, very bad at planning and not have your priorities in a straight line, set straight. And we have to remember, Trump did not just tariff out of the blue randomly this year, this month. He's been suggesting tariffs for months on end now. And we have to remember back in 2018, when he was in power, he tariffed the steel industry back then. So it should have been expected that he was going to do the same right now as well. So, Karina Gould, I just wanted to make a video about her because she's claiming to be some liberal, different from the other liberals running in the race. But in reality, she's just another one of those wannabe liberal superheroes who live in utopia but don't live in reality. Thank you very much for watching this video, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.